Yeah, it's nice. It's not my first time. I've been through it plenty of times, but it's okay. It's you know, it's just part of it, and just mentality, and another opportunity to come in here and to have fun and to keep improving. And so I'm excited.
For you, having been on this team last season, seeing what it's kind of been through, and now how it's evolved, the names that have been added, how exciting is it for you to start this turnaround process?
Yeah, I mean, I was here last year. I was a part of the team, and we had fun, but obviously it was tough too. It was a growing year for all of us, and there's a lot of things that we can do to improve on. Obviously, we got to. No one ever said it was easy, but again, we haven't played a game yet this year either. It's only spring training, so it's easy, obviously, to be excited for us, for the fans, about this team, the organization. There's a lot of things to be excited about, but we still have to go out there and play baseball and go out there and win games. So I think everyone's excited for Friday in Toronto and opening up and hitting the ground running, but we still got to go out there and play baseball.
You and I've had a number of conversations about your role in the clubhouse and providing that veteran leadership. The coaching staff has raved about it. How much of a tool in your bag is that?
It's definitely part of it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of pride myself on being a guy that can come and help others too, because at the end of the day, it's not really just about myself. It's about everyone around us, and if we can do something to help somebody else, I think in turn that helps yourself, and that's just kind of a mindset that I have. We're all in this together. It's just it's a collective mindset, and whether it's baseball or something off the field, if I can do something to help somebody else out, then I'm doing my job.
Well, it's really good how everything ends up working out. I like to go in with confidence, knowing that I have the ability to make the team, and when everything falls into place and I have success out on the field, and the team tells me just stay healthy and keep doing you, and I get rewarded for the effort and just the success on the field.
When you came in last year, it seemed like they were doing that as just in case. You did not seem to think that was going to be, or from the feeling I got from you, that was going to be your last time. Is that accurate?
The last outing?
Yes.
No, I didn't feel like it was going to be the last one. I felt better than I thought, than I expected, because initially the injury, it was just really hard to deal with after already coming back from the Tommy John. So it was a little bit up in the air, like, am I going to be able to do this again? Can I go through all of this rehab again? The mental struggle and the grind of doing all of the rehab once again. But I just stuck to it, and the team was extremely supportive and, gave me the time to stay at home with my family and my newborn, and I was able to focus on that instead of my arm as much, and just kind of let that go and just continue the rehab and not stress about trying to make it back as soon as I could, and just follow the plan with the doctor and the team, and it worked out.
What are you going to have to do at this point for self-care during the year in terms of, there's only so many bullets in the arm, right? So what do you have to do?
Right now it feels very good, and just continuing to do what I have been doing, with ice, heat, the conditioning, the weight training. For me, everything is back to normal, so there's nothing extra really I'm doing, just staying consistent, and the team will watch my workload, and I just have to be open and honest with how I'm feeling, so whenever I need an extra day, they'll be able to give that to me.
This is kind of a random question, but considering, when your career started, all the ups and downs and ins and outs, how old do you think your arm is?
I honestly have no idea, because everything feels very good right now, and I'm knock on wood, I feel like I have in the past, and that's makes me feel really good about it. And I'm with a team now where we have a lot of depth, and 10 guys to start out in the bullpen. It's a lot of arms, and no one has to really carry the load, it seems like. So it's just very exciting to get this thing going, and we're going to open up in Toronto. That's amazing. I had the best time of my life baseball-wise playing in the playoffs in Toronto. So with our history there, I mean, things are just coming right back to where they first started, it feels like.
I forget, at the end of spring last year, were you 98 also?
No,
Where
not
were
at
you?
all. Oh, I think 95. I may have touched 98 once, but I think my hardest was usually around 95.
And you've been sitting 96, 97 pretty much
Yeah,
all spring.
I've been up to 99 a few times, quite a bit, and it's surprising to me. I mean, I think everyone's a bit surprised, but it feels great. I had the opportunity to get here early since I was invited to the minor league camp, being not on the roster. And so I feel like I had a nice little head start with everything. I had plenty of live BPs, plenty of batting practices and whatnot. So
That paid off for you.
I definitely think it paid off better than just working out from home and trying to do my own program and not being with the team setting. Anytime I'm in a team setting, coaches, scouts, everyone watching, the adrenaline gets kicked up and the velocity goes up a bit. So.
When you're working out at home, how different is it? I mean, was it like from a workout standpoint you're talking about, or just from like a mentality, like having guys with you?
I think just from a mentality of, I'm on my own program, and I was going to our rehab facility, TMI in Arlington, but it's just not the same as being with all the strength coaches, your teammates, the excitement of baseball once again, putting the uniform on, being put through drills, the calisthenics, the workouts. I mean, it just builds from there.
Last year, before the injury, you were probably going to be in a high leverage situation back into the bullpen. Have they told you where you may pitch this year?
So they've talked to me about pitching in the back end and opening.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you open much?
No, we didn't do that. I think that started here in 19 a little bit, maybe.
Okay.
So I was still injured.
Yeah.
But I did it 2 times this spring.
Okay.
One in the A game, one in the B game, and I've done it quite a few times in my career in B games because, as the veteran pitcher or whatnot, you'll get to go first in line. And I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it. So anything that's going to help the team, I'm excited to do. I mean, it seems like a nice little challenge, and if it all works out, then great. I'll keep doing it.
It's like big chance for me right now because, I got a couple of years ago, dile que tuve un par de tiempo atrás, tuve como frisado en la liga menor. Los Yankees me dieron la oportunidad de poder cumplir mis sueños y ahora creo que Texas también me dará la oportunidad de poder seguir en mi carrera.
He's really thankful for Texas to give him the opportunity. He was kind of stuck in the minor league system over with the Yankees, and he was really wanting to fulfill his dream, but there was no possible way he was going to get there through the Yankee system, so he's very grateful for this opportunity.
So you're excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
What do you think you can bring to the Rangers bullpen?
¿Qué tú crees que vas a traer para el bullpen de los Rangers?
Bueno, sí, creo que seré un relevista aquí de 1 a 2 innings. Voy a aprovechar cada una de las oportunidades que me puedan dar.
Yeah, he thinks he's gonna help out with 1, 2 innings, whatever they ask of him. He's prepared for whatever that our bullpen's gonna need.
You came up as a starter. How has the transition to a reliever been for you?
Comenzaste como un abridor y cómo te ha cambiado cuando te ponen en el bullpen. ¿Qué es la diferencia para ti?
Bueno, fue un poco incómodo para mí cuando lograron hacer eso, pero a la vez me impuse porque vi que mi carrera era por ahí que iba a empezar en la Grande Liga y nada, me tocó imponerme a algo que quizás no quería en el momento, pero fue lo que pude ejecutar.
Yeah, he was a tough transition for him. He didn't really want to go to the bullpen or whatever, but it was the opportunities that were given to him, and he took advantage of that because that's the only way he'll get to the big leagues, and that's what he made those little adjustments, and he's fine with it now.
Albert, did you throw more changeups or sliders last year?
¿Fíjate más cambios o slider el año pasado?
I throw a lot of slider last year because I'm working in this pitch, and I think I throw a lot more the changes.
You'll throw a lot more of the changeup this year?
Depende hitting, you know. So depende hitting until my strong pitching. So
Because people have told me the changeup is really good.
yeah, until a lot of change for lefty more. Yep.
Okay. And the slider you're still working on.
Yeah, I'm working a lot last year in my off season, so our team is ready for the season right now.
You mentioned being stuck, in the minors with the Yankees. How long did you kind of feel stuck?
¿Cuánto tiempo te sentías que estabas ahí en la Liga Menor con los Yankees? Que estabas atascado ahí.
Duré 5 años con los Yankees, creo que duré 4 en ligas menores y 1 en Grande Liga, entre bajas y altas.
He's been there for 5 years, and out of those 5 years, he was in the minor league system for 4 years. So yeah, it was a long time for him.
So it sounds like you weren't terribly surprised by the trade. The Yankees had a lot of bullpen depth. You weren't surprised by the fact that you were traded.
No estaba sorprendido que iban a cambiar porque sabían que tenía muchos brazos ahí en el bullpen de los Yankees.
Siempre confié en que yo iba a ser uno de los bullpen de los Yankees, pero nunca me confié en eso porque me enfoco en controlar lo que puedo controlar y eso no lo controlo, la verdad.
Yeah, he felt like this season he was going to have an opportunity to be in his bullpen, but he can only control what he can control. It's not up to him. He just was out there trying to do his job.
And last 6 man, do you know where your velocity was this spring on the fastball?
¿Qué tan resultado tirando en la recta?
This year during the spring training, so my top is 99. In the last start I throw, I throw 99. So
Last year was 98 pretty much in the big.
yeah, 98, 99, 100. Yep.
Very good. Thank you.
Overall felt really good. I just wasn't commanding the heater well, and I was very up in the zone of the sinker, so I was just flatter and not so much sink, just more two-seamish. Yeah. Wasn't striking the slider at all, just throwing the slider in the wrong counts. I was throwing great two-strike sliders, just never with 2 strikes. And the changeup was kind of hit or miss, but overall, I just fell behind a lot, and they capitalized on my mistakes. And just got to be more competitive in the zone next time.
Next time it's going to count.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to 5 days is it 5 days from now, 6 days from now, when the season starts up. I'm really looking forward to that. I feel good. I feel like I'm in a good spot with my body. Just get a bad one out of the way early.
Has it been hard to find strike the springtime balance of I'm trying to get in my work with trying to be dialed in because it's been a shortened spring?
Yeah. You have less outings this spring, but either way, it's just like the competitiveness comes out of you. Like I'll still try to work on things, but at the same time, it's like we're in a game, so it's it's always go time from there. But yeah, no. Other than that, just wasn't trying to think of the words right now. Just wasn't striking my pitches that much, if that makes sense.
When you say you weren't throwing the sliders in the counts you wanted to,
Yeah.
is that something that you probably would do better in the regular season? Just
Yeah,
in general?
definitely. Yeah. Typical, 0-2, let's try to back foot them, something to get them to chase, something below the zone. I was just never starting it to a point where I was throwing it for a strike where they had to honor it. So anytime I saw a spin, it kind of was just like, all right, give up on it. It's going to be a ball. And just even then, I wasn't ahead in the count with a heater enough to be able to get them to fool them with a slider. So it just kind of just played against me in that case. When you got pulled and then went back in, was there anything in particular you were trying to do in that next 0.1?
Yeah,
not really. Just go back out and be competitive and try to get the team back in there. I was just a little frustrated and a little angry with how I performed. But it was very weird getting pulled and then going back out into the game. That wasn't a feeling that I liked. But yeah, it was just trying to get the ball down, and that's about it.
Did Woody give you the option, like, hey, do you want to go back, or was it just...
Well, no, I was slotted for – I had to get my pitches, and I was hoping to get my upset, but, I threw 75 pitches in 3 innings. it's not going to cut it. But yeah, I was just trying to get my pitch count up there and my innings that I was slotted. But I mean, obviously the pitch count came first.
When Doug came out on the mound in the first inning, what did he tell you?
He just walked up, told me, he was like, "I'm just giving you a breather. That's all." I mean, I already threw a ton of pitches at that point. I went 3-2 to practically every batter. It was just, I was probably getting a little frustrated, so probably calming me down a little bit, just giving me some time to breathe and step off and kind of reevaluate and then go out and compete in the next.
Is this your opening day lineup in order today?
Could be. I mean, I guess the
Better
eight,
than 50-50 chance?
the biggest thing is the 8-9 spot probably. But yes, probably this
So Miller's leading off.
potentially.
Have you settled on Brad Miller leading
I don't
off?
know. We still got a few more days. We'll see if he hits a home run the first pitch of the game. Listen, I've talked about with him. I just love the mentality that he has to lead off a game. Clearly, he hammers righties, so I'm just trying to look into all the scenarios that could come after that. So I love him in the leadoff spot. He obviously has good numbers against righties, especially if it's a good matchup for him. It could be a 1-0 game. It could be a guy on second base. He could work a walk. He's just really good, obviously, from that side, and it's setting up our three best hitters right behind him. So, I love leading off Simeon, but sometimes I get a little bit nervous of having a guy who's got that kind of power and leading off a game. Maybe if there's a guy on base for him, it allows those three guys to really do some damage behind him.
So,
How much? Go ahead.
Sorry, one more thing. What do you do then, if you go this route, what do you do left when you face a lefty?
I would lead off Simeon then.
You would lead off.
Yeah, I would lead off
That's
Simeon,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess around with that. Those are three best guys, 2 righty, 1 lefty. Seager hammers everybody, so it doesn't matter. But that's a pretty big impact to start against a lefty.
How much emphasis are you putting on being aggressive on the base paths?
A lot. I think yes, I've been pretty open about that since I've been here. I think with the offensive talent that we have in that lineup 1 through 9 now, we're going to reap the benefits of that. We're going to force teams they're going to have to do something to stop us. And if Corey Seager's hitting and that pitcher's stressed out because he's hitting, his times might increase. He might be more focused on the hitter, and we can't let up on our pressure. So if he's going 1-5 to the plate, we have to be standing on second base. If he's worried about our base runner and he's a 1-2 or 1-3, Corey Seager's benefiting from that. And I think that's always been the mentality. We just haven't been as proficient offensively to really reap the benefits of our base running style. And we're not reckless. There's a lot of preparation that goes into our base running. So when guys run, it's well timed. There's a lot of information that goes into that. Like I said, we're not just running at will, but when anything is presented to us, I expect our guys to take advantage of it on the bases. Whether that's dirt ball reads, whether that's stealing bases, we're going first to thirds, we're focusing on our turns. There's a lot of little things, details that we focus on, obviously base running wise, that allows us to be that aggressive. But yeah, we're not going to stop running.
Do you anticipate PitchCom, if it is implemented, to have an impact on those pitcher times?
No, I think the pitcher times. I think the time in between pitches might.
Right.
But I don't think the times it's gonna matter.
Once it.
Yeah, I mean,
the
if
ball's
I'm
rolling.
pitching and there's a threat at first base, I have to make a decision whether. And we listen as a pitching unit. We've made a concerted effort to tell our guys, hey, we don't need to be 1-1 to the plate. We have 2 really good arms back there in Jonah and Garver. We can be a 1-3, and that's going to maximize our stuff to the hitter. We want more focus on the hitter, not worry so much about that runner. If they give decent times, 1-3, 1-5, that's good enough to where gives our guys a chance to throw them out. If they steal it. But I want to make sure our pitchers are maximizing their stuff against the opposing hitters.
You said the 8-9 spot were the biggest.
I mean, yeah, because you're going to have back-to-back lefties either way. So whether it's, today it's Cole and Willie back-to-back. If I hit Willie 9th and Abina's 8th, then it would be, Willie and Brad Miller.
Oh, so you'll have, okay.
Yeah, so it's just where you want to put the back-to-back. And I'll dig into that. I'll look into, what makes the most sense. And maybe it's just whoever's a better matchup for that guy that day. I feel like you get them 8 and the other guy 9. Pretty deep lineup, though, when you have Abanez and Willie Calhoun hitting 8 and 9.
Dane expressed today how excited he is about not having the limitations that he had previously.
Yeah.
He said as
I
far
am
as
too.
he knows. Yeah.
I am too.
He just talked about the ability to kind of clean up his own messes, do those types of things. What have you seen from him this spring to, kind of reinforce that plan that you put in place and now kind of the end of it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've seen enough. I haven't seen enough of anybody in spring training, especially pitching wise. I love where he's at, though. What we saw last year, how he pitched, the way he uses his stuff. It's the same guy. His stuff's, is really good right now. He continues to work on that, and can't wait for it to just, like you said, those innings. I don't shake his hand. Be like, hey, you still got 15 to 20 more pitches, especially when he was rolling the way he was rolling. It's like, man, he's through 5 innings and 60 pitches. God, I can't send him back out. Like, we obviously had to be disciplined last year. And this year it's, we want to win. And, with no restrictions really on his limits, I look forward to letting him go through some of those innings for sure.
How do you, shortened spring, you look at guys who are hitting 167 and 219 who are going to be regulars. Are you're judging them on process? Like,
Yeah, I'm not.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Corey Seager is going to be in the lineup, but he's
Yes.
hitting 167. Willie
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
has 3 hits since he had his 4-hit game at Cleveland 2 weeks ago. So how do you?
Listen, I think it is about the process. It is about their quality of a bat. It's, are they working on the right things? Are they doing the right things? Listen, with the regular guys, they've earned that right. Corey Seager's earned that right, obviously. There's going to be some ups and downs, and, there's no panic in his mind. Some of the other guys that are fighting for a spot, there is a little bit of panic to go, I have to produce, I have to perform. And, listen, we're going to use that to our advantage to tell them, whether they make the team or not. And I think in Willie's case, I did tell him he's on the team. So, hopefully that weight is a little bit lifted. But I want to see Willie, buy into what we're doing. And he has. Sometimes when you watch him perform in games, you don't see the work that was put on behind the scenes. You don't see the work that was put in the cage and the things that he's focused on. Sometimes it just shows up as a ground ball to first base or a ground ball to second. And you're like, he didn't have a great game. But I trust that, talk to Donnie and Tim and our hitting guys every day, just about our guys, especially the guys I'm like, okay, what did he do today? How did that go today? And then I see the game play out, and sometimes it shows up and sometimes it doesn't. Some of these guys, it's new. Willie hasn't had these guys as their hitting coach. He hasn't had a game planning model like these guys have for him. So that may take a little bit of time with some of these guys to really, truly understand and go out and be able to execute it. Some guys hit the ground running with it, but baseball is baseball. There's going to be spurts where you're hitting 167 in a 2-week stretch. I mean,
So,
that's
you say
part of the game.
That he has bought in, or?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, I just talked to him right now, and he's all in it. Just some of the old habits come out. Like, in competition, it's tough to break old habits, and some of the swings that we see, it's like, okay, that was the old Willie. We want to keep the new Willie every pitch of every at bat. It's not that easy. Clearly, he wants to succeed, and when you're standing in the batter's box, a lot of times it's a different frame of mind than you are when you're training. But if we can get him to that point and just be a little bit more consistent, obviously we know he can hit.
Joe McCarthy has had the hitting coach before, or one of the hitting coaches before. He seems, I asked you about him yesterday.
Yeah.
But it seems like he can't make this team.
No, he can. I mean, listen, we're thinking of a bunch of different ways to work this out, honestly, and we haven't put aside anything. Whether that means we keep one less pitcher. There's ways we can make it happen. So, listen, Joe's turned a lot of heads, all of our heads, in a short amount of time. We look at obviously what he's done in the past, track record wise, and what he's doing right now. It's, do we trust that that's going to continue? Can he, is he a perfect fit for our system? Can he do this during the regular season? I think those are all the questions we're asking right now. But it's been super impressive. Obviously, anybody that's watched it is, like I said, it's not just about the results. It's about the quality of the at-bat and the sticking to, being consistent. And every at-bat's different. Every game plan is a little bit different on opposing pitchers. But he's followed it to a T and had a ton of results because of it.
Well, when you guys have said that guys have to earn spots this spring,
Mm-hmm.
would seem that he has gone above and beyond in earning a spot. It's just
Yeah, I think maybe he started a little from the back of the pack, when it came to expectations coming into camp. So I think that's, when you look at like Willie and maybe another, somebody else that maybe doesn't have a ton of results, there's a track record with us that we can't, negate, whether that's on the pitching side or the offensive side. And like I said, if I trust the work that he's putting in, it may not have fully, that game in Cleveland was pretty impressive, for Willie. That was a 4-hit game. He hammered a bunch of balls, a couple off lefties. He's working through some things right now, clearly, trying to get back to doing it in game. But hopefully the relief of actually being on the team, you see him just kind of go, okay, I don't have to worry about that right now. Pressure's pressure, man. Like, that's one thing I told him. Like, pressure in camp is pressure in camp, but like we get into a pennant chase, a playoff run, and playoff series, like that's real pressure. This is just to make a team. We want these guys to embrace that pressure and see how they handle it. So, I don't know. We'll see with obviously Willie and a couple of the other guys that haven't had the greatest camp, but, we got to see it play out.
Did you tell Willie today?
Yeah.
Did you talk to anybody else to him?
No. That's all you're getting today, Evan.
Well, I guess clearly you haven't told anybody else, but Otto and Alexi, what is the
Alexi, we did option. Alexi, we told we were going to option. Yeah, we told him that. I probably didn't tell you guys, but a couple of days ago. Yeah, he'll be starting in AAA. He had a great camp. Loved everything he's done. Can't say enough good things about him, to be honest with you. He killed it, but right now he's a super valuable piece for us. His depth, that's ready, that will be ready. We will need him. We are going to need him, especially the way he was pitching. It's hard to not say he would be the first call, if a need arises.
Woody, every time I see Duran play, he looks better and better. He looks
impressive,
like
man.
A ball player, every aspect of the game, offense, defense, and I realize that there's probably not a chance that he gets called up this year being a AA, but would you hesitate?
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, from what he's seen, he faced a really good pitcher yesterday, and the first pitch he saw, he launched. A first pitch slider even. It's just this kid's, I told him before the game, hey, you know who this pitcher is? He goes, not really. Perfect. Let's keep it that. Just give him the game plan. And listen, this is something, and it sounds really silly, but this is something that, Corey brought up to us, just having a chat with Corey about, opposing pitchers. And, if you have a game plan, if you stop worrying about the name on the back and just say, hey, this is the way you attack this man, like, you don't get caught up in who the name is. Like, I got caught up in the name because I'm like, Brandon Woodward's a good pitcher. I saw that guy dominate us in 2018, like in an NLCS as a young player. I mean, he shoved it up our butt and hit a homer off Kershaw. Like, I'd never forgot that guy. But for Ezekiel Duran, he was just like, all right, just tell me where to look for. He throws 97, 98. Okay, I'll look for that. And in the middle of the plate, and don't swing anything down. Gets a hanging slider and launches it in the first pitch he sees. There's no fear. You know what I mean? And honestly, when you forget about who that guy is, forget about all the accolades that guy has on the back of his baseball card, it actually makes it a little bit easier. And it's actually refreshing to see younger guys that come up. They just have zero fear of facing that guy. And I think all of our guys can learn from that. To be honest with you, it's something Corey talked about a lot. Like, forget about the name on the back. Just tell me how to hit this guy. I don't care who he is. I don't care what he's done. It doesn't matter. And if that's our mentality in our clubhouse, we're going to take it to every team we play. And the same thing has to be on the pitching side. We get wrapped up in, this is Juan Soto, or this is Mike Trout, or this is whatever. Attack them. Go on. Go with your best stuff. If he beat you, he beat you. Tip your cap and move on. But so many times psychologically we get beat before we're even started.
It just seems like it's not every spring, but there's the occasional spring that you see a guy you've never seen that's only played in the minor leagues, and he looks like he belongs here. He's that guy for me.
Yeah,
It just
totally.
looks like he belongs.
He does. I mean, it's from day one I saw him. He's there's an energy about him. There's like this, he's got a really good way about the way he plays. I didn't know defensively he was that good. If I saw him take ground balls the first time, I'm looking at Rags, I'm like, this guy can play. Like the arm, it reminded me a little bit of Cano, just the way he kind of throws. I was watching him take ground balls to second base, ball up the middle, and he just flung it back to first, right on the money with some arm strength. I was like, I've only seen one other guy do that, and that was Robinson Cano. He's really, really athletic, you know, and he loves to play the game. You can tell.
It shows.
Yeah.
Thanks, Woody.
A good story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Backstory's good. $10,000 sign. That's